listeners, and welcome to episode 4. I'm your host, Hannah Reeser. Today we are discussing another film adaptation. This one is exciting because it's based on Fahrenheit 451. The book was written by Ray Bradbury and published in 1953. He based it on the book burning in Nazi Germany, Red Scare, and the growing influence of mass media. The intentional takeaway is the awareness of censorship and the suppression of knowledge. The movie Fahrenheit 451 was directed by
Ramin Barani
and released in 2018. I will now have my assistant, Jacob Reeser, tell you about the book.
Hello everyone, Jacob here. Let's dive in. The book is set in a dystopian future where books are forbidden and banned, and firemen burn any found. The main character, Guy Montag, is a fireman and in the beginning loves his job. However, after meeting Clarice McClellan, he began to question his role in society. He has a collection of books that he's collected on his burn missions, but doesn't understand them due to the distractions of his society. He meets an old English professor and seeks him to find answers. Eventually, he becomes an outcast in society and joins a group of book lovers who memorize literature to keep the messages remembered.
Jacob, what did you think about the book?
The book was amazing. It helped me realize that I spent too much time on electronics rather than sitting down and reading a book. Wow, I am addicted.
Have you watched the movie Fahrenheit 451?
I watched it in school, but it was hard to pay attention to it because it was so different from the book.
I agree. It is exciting when a movie tries to recreate a book, but crosses the line when it completely changes characters that we love. When characters don't act their role, it hurts the story's takeaway, and therefore the movie compared to the book does not support the novel's theme. It took out some key characters entirely, and those that stayed were simplistic. The theme is the dangers of censorship and conformity, and if society falls into either, it will lose its ability to think critically. One of the characters the movie took out is Faber, an important character who helped show the importance of knowledge and critical thinking. Some important quotes from Faber himself is,
"Mr. Montag, you are looking at a coward."
This is on page 78. This quote directly from the book shows us that Faber is guilty for protecting himself while many people were fighting and dying for the knowledge in books. Another quote from Faber is,
"So now you know why books are hated and feared. They show the pores in the face of life."
This one is on page 78-9, and it explains that books provide details and important life lessons, which is why they are suppressed. The last quote is,
"Far away across town in the night, the faintest whisper of a turned page, the book of Job."
This last one is on page 89. Faber is reading to Montag, showing his character development from just a couple of pages apart. Faber adds this knowledge and critical thinking instead of falling under the censorship and conformity. However, in the movie, Faber is completely taken out. The director uses Clarice to try and distract the audience from his absence by giving her more knowledge. In the beginning, she doesn't want to join the people who fight for books. Instead, she blends in to avoid becoming an outcast. But near the end, her curiosity and questioning leads her to support Montag. Clarice is unable to get the same message effectively as Faber. For one, Clarice ran from being a part of the book people, and that shows weakness. In the book, she gave clear hints that she follows the opposite of her society. The movie shortens the importance of knowledge. Instead, the takeaway is more on the government's control, which wasn't even in the book at all. The film fails to provide the dangers of censorship, which weakens the overall message that knowledge is power.
The main character is Guy Montag. His character is less developed in the movie, which shows his struggle to question society's censorship. Here is a quote from the book.
"We have everything we need to be happy, but we aren't happy. Something's missing." This is on page 78.
This quote from the book shows his growing awareness of the society around him, and that despite having everything they need, it is still so empty and lifeless. This is the direct result of censorship, causing people to lose their critical thinking skills.
"Hand it over, Guy," said Beatty with a fixed smile. And then he was a shrieking blaze.
The quote continues on page 113 when Montag burns Beatty. It shows Montag overcoming his anti-book society he once served. It's a final act of rebellion and really hits the nail on the head by embracing knowledge over censorship. In the firehouse scenes, Montag's actions of burning books are more prominent than his thoughts and feelings. In the movie, Montag and the other firemen sing a song about their salamander, or what we know as a fire truck, with enthusiasm. He leads the chanting and shouting about burning books and how much they love doing it. It causes a lot of distraction from the drastic change in Montag's dynamic character.
This scene prioritizes Montag's actions rather than his feelings, which takes away from his character development. The song further shows his conformity to the society around him. This focuses more on the outward behavior than internal struggle.
Another example is when Montag is actively rebelling against the firemen and gets chased. Montag becomes a fugitive and burns all of his belongings. He then points the flamethrower he used to burn all of his belongings at Beatty. He doesn't use it on him like in the book. Instead, he burns a random general.
By burning the random general, it shows the audience that Montag hasn't fully broken free of Beatty's influence. The burning is a demonstration of rebellion, but it was so out of control. Montag's internal conflict is not strong enough to take out the person that did him the most wrong. He is less developed in the movie than the book. I'm so happy you guys have made it this far. Let's wrap this up. The film adaptation weakens the novel's main theme by altering and taking out key characters. This diminishes the impact of the message on the dangers of censorship and conformity. The movie removed Faber, a crucial character that helps show the importance of knowledge and critical thinking. Another important character is Guy Montag. His character is less developed in the movie, which shows his struggle to question society's censorship. So, the change of characters in the movie compared to the book does not support the theme of the novel. I can tell you, after reading the book and then watching the movie, I was so disappointed. Characters are the heart of the story. It frustrated me when the director took out Faber and simplified the rest. It was so different from the book it hurt. At that point, they should have just named it something else completely. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on film adaptations Catastrophe. I will catch my listeners in the next one. Bye, everyone!